Cinque Terre, which means 5 lands, consists of 5 villages, each uniquely different and picturesque, located along the northwest coast of Italy. While beautiful from any perspective, its true beauty can only be appreciated from the sea. Here is a brief tour down the coast along these 5 villages. The beach town of Monterosso, the fortified port town of Vernazza, the old Roman town of Cornelia, the terraced vineyards of Manarola, and the tower homes and river of Rio Maggiore. The villages were accessible only from the sea until the railway was built 100 years ago. So rowing the Cinque Terre was not just a vacation adventure, but a necessity for almost 2,000 years. This is a Roman map showing the Roman towns of Portus Veneris and Monilla. 2 of our rowers, Steve and Hannah, spotted this map of the Cinque Terre in the Vatican Museum, showing a large rowed vessel along the coast. Rowing one of these is in no way a vacation adventure. Ben-Hur certainly didn't think so.
Ramming speed. Ramming speed!
Enough! These are not happy rowers. Times have changed, fortunately. Rowing on deck is certainly an improvement. And the drills and the coaching, well, they've improved too, I think. These are our good friends Anzo Adamolo and Eliza Camp, who founded a wonderful rowing club outside of Florence. Eliza operates rowingvacations.com and organized and is running this adventure. Here is Eliza's plan for our adventure, and what follows are the details. May 18 and 19, we arrive and stay at the beautiful Hotel La Vigna on the hillside above Monilla. May 19, everyone meets up by noon and we get the boats unloaded and in the water for a warm-up row. May 20th, a 10-kilometer row from Monilla to Levanto. With a stay at La Modonetta B&B. May 21st, an 8-kilometer row to Monterosso. From Monterosso, then we take the train back to our hotel in Levanto. Note that the train is inside a tunnel the entire way, with no view of the scenery nor the sea, one of the many advantages of rowing. May 22nd, the real Cinque Terre begins. We will row 11 kilometers from Monterosso to Rio Maggiore. Along the way, we will view and admire Vernazza and Cornelia. Arriving in Rio Maggiore, where we will spend 2 nights. May 23rd, a day off. Based in Rio Maggiore, we'll explore the Cinque Terre on foot and by train, and going out for a row if we wish. Rio Maggiore is a beautiful village and not to be missed. May 24th, our last rowing day. A 12-kilometer row from Rio Maggiore to the island of Palmyra, and then on to Porto Venere, where we will sleep. While Venere is not part of the Cinque Terre, it is just as interesting as any of the 5 villages, with the ruins of a castle and a church on a high rock overlooking the town. We will spend the night in Venere. May 25th, we'll travel to La Spezia. We will stay the night in La Spezia, and on the morning of the 26th we will have a row with the local club. We will then say our farewells and depart for our next adventure. So that's the plan. Sounds good, but Mother Nature had plans for us. The weather in Europe had been looking pretty bad in the weeks before our rowing adventure. The week before our arrival in Italy, we were in Germany, Slovenia, and Croatia, where we encountered a lot of wet and overcast weather. Conditions in Italy were much worse, with extensive flooding and washouts, as shown in these images from May 14th in northern Italy. This supercell was filmed on May 11th, also in the same area. On May 18th, many of us arrived at the train station in Monilia, where we were met by Eliza and taken to the hotel. Weather wasn't great, but getting better. At dinner, we met friends whom we haven't seen in years. Here I am catching up with Enzo, who I first met when he came to Sammamish Rowing in 2006.
See? Tom, he's saying you're drunk.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, not drunk. He said he's clearly enjoyed the wine. Anche te, però.
Well, you put the bottle down in front of me, so I had to...
Exactly. It's true. It's true.
Here is Jeff and Mary Roberts from Sacramento, and Bettina von Hagen and Brian from Portland.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
And here is Steve Owen talking to my wife Hope, Dieter Struzina talking to Ann Wangman, Dieter's wife Deb talking to Dave Nordstrom, and Hannah Theed talking to Jan Gifford. No one seems lost for words. The next day we were down at the harbor unloading the wonderful Wintec coastal quads.
And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me up on my pony, on my boat. Now if I were Roy Rogers, I'd sure enough be single. I couldn't bring myself to marry an old Dale. Will it just be me and Trevor? We'll go riding through them movies, then we'd buy a boat and on the sea we'd sail. If I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me up on my pony, on my boat. Well, now the mystery masked man was smarty. He got himself a Tonto, 'cause Tonto did the dirty work for free. Tonto, he was smarter, and one day said, Kemosabe, well, kiss my ass, I bought a boat, I'm going out to sea. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me up on my like lightning. I wouldn't need no sneakers. Well, I'd come and go whenever I would please. And I'd scare 'em by the shade tree and scare 'em by the light pole, but would not scare my pony on my boat out on the sea. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me up on my pony, on my boat. Set me up on my pony, on my boat.
After lunch, we jumped into the 2 boats in the water for a warm-up row. The first boat has 4 Sammamish rowers in it, whom we call the Vikings, as they all claim some Nordic heritage. In keeping with Viking tradition, they kidnapped my wife Hope to serve as cocks, not knowing that she would soon take over the boat. In the bow there is Hannah Theed and Ann Wangman, and in the stern is Jan Gifford and Steve Owen at stroke. The other boat has 4 non-Sammamish rowers who dubbed themselves the Pirates. In the bow is Dieter Struzina and Mary Roberts, and in the stern is Bettina Van Hagen and myself, Tom Lassiter. Dave Nordstrom from Sammamish is coxing. Dave and Ann plan to swap between rowing and coxing. The water behind the breakwater was reasonably calm, but there were significant waves outside of it. The Vikings and pirates chased each other up and down the beach for a couple of hours. Finally, we beached the boats, emptied the water, and headed back to the hotel. We are not getting a break from the weather. Today we are packing our bags, and Eliza is taking them on to our hotel in Levanto. Our plan for the day is to explore Genoa. What a shock to be in a big city. Genoa is a truly beautiful city and fun to explore. We wish we were on the water, but this is a special treat nonetheless. From the Genoa train station we walked into the city. After lunch we went down to the harbor and posed in front of the pirate ship. This is a full-size Spanish galleon constructed for a movie. Genoa in medieval times was a dominant merchant pirate city-state and fought many sea battles with its rival Venice. Banks, Christopher Columbus, the Black Plague, and blue jeans all came from Genoa. Our next stop was the Genoa Aquarium, one of the largest and most beautiful in the world. In addition to the beautiful pictures we shot, I've included a wonderful music video recorded there.
Resto a guardare il mar, l'immenso mar, e sento giungermi nel cuore un'onda d'amore infinita. Vorrei in riva al mar, amor, con te sognare, l'ebbrezza languida provare di darti in un bacio la vita, ma tu così resto a guardare il mare, l'immenso mare, e sento l'anima vibrare nell'onda d'amore infinita. Ma tu in riva al mar che fai? Non vuoi parlare? In te non senti un mar d'amor che giunge a me così resto a guardare il mare, l'immenso mare, e sento l'anima vibrare nell'onda d'amore infinita con te.
After our visit, we returned to the train station and hopped on the train to Levanto, where Eliza has brought our luggage and we will be spending 2 nights. We settled into our B&B in Levanto and walked to a cozy, wonderful restaurant.
It's me, the paparazzi.
Where he comes from, I don't know why.
When's your next movie?
Here Eliza teaches us how to fillet shrimp Italian style.
You open them up, sever the head.
Okay.
This is how I eat it. I don't know if it's the right way or not. And then I pick out the middle.
It's the same thing.
I don't like greasy meat. And it's mostly the flavor.
So at home we call these crawfish. What do they call them here?
Probably gamberoni, big shrimp.
Big shrimp.
In Sweden, you eat these from midsummer.
But are they saltwater or freshwater?
And you pick them
salt.
up and you
Salt.
Saltwater.
they're boiled in kind of a brine sort of thing. And then you suck them first, and then you peel them. And
Okay, so Steve's going to demonstrate here.
maybe these are not Swedish crayfish. Because Swedish crayfish are much bigger. You can actually peel the tail and pull out a nice chunk of meat.
Are you Swedish? Is that where Owen is from?
No, well, no, I'm Norwegian, but I spent a year in university in Sweden.
So Eliza, are we going rowing tomorrow? What's the score?
The optimist in me says it will clear up by tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening.
In time to get to Levanto. The realist, looking at actual data, says less likely than Eliza's optimism.
Okay.
It should be no surprise that rowing the Cinque Terre can be challenging. Here are some images of heavy surf shot at other times. Levanto, shown here for example, is a famous surfing spot. Here is the surf breaking over the breakwater at Vernazza. And this is the channel entrance to the harbor at Porto Venere. So at breakfast, we learn that there is no rowing for another day. But we are on vacation in Italy, so there are lots of things to see and do, or not do. 8 of us decided to go on a walking tour of Levanto and into the beautiful hills above it with great views of the coast. Dieter and Deb had a sporty convertible and tooled off for 2 days touring Pisa and Florence. We finally have a break in the weather and are eager to get going. Here we are on the beach in Maniglia. You recall Plan A. We were supposed to take 3 days in rowing from Maniglia to Riomaggiore with stops in Levanto and Monterosso. Having lost 2 days, we will be rowing straight from Maniglia to Riomaggiore, a distance of 28 kilometers or 17 miles. Here is Eliza, who Enzo calls Mama, shoving her ducklings off on their adventure.
Wait up.
Yeah, go straight out. And then,
Okay, a bow and 2, are all, everybody ready?
I think we need to
Okay, all 4, ready, row. Little power on starboard. Okay, even. Oh, here comes the big one to the side.
After a short break, we continued the road to Levanto, where Eliza has organized lunch. Including the break, it took us about an hour and a half to row the 13 kilometers from Maniglia to Levanto, a decent pace in bouncy water. Eliza set up this nice lunch just off the beach in Levanto. Delicious.
Very strong. Coordinating. Woo! Oh, Jesus. You okay, Tom? You okay? You get your pump wet?
Launching a coastal quad in surf is challenging because the boat with crew weighs over 1,000 pounds. The weight is an advantage in the waves as it keeps the boat from being pushed around. However, in the surf, our puny oars, or puny muscles to be exact, have a hard time pushing the boat against the breaking surf. The other challenge is you can't launch with the dagger board down, so you have no steering ability and the boat weaves like a drunken duck.
Oh, whoa, that's a big one. All right. Ready, Dave?
You guys got it stable? Even. Follow the stroke. Nope. Just a minute. I got to get my butt down first while I make it go. Port. 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 Okay, I'm going to try to. Stabilizer was far enough out, we won't. Yeah, I've got to get the dagger board in now.
Hey, we're right behind you. Heads up.
Hey!
We've stopped to get the dagger board down, but that takes a little effort because it is big and awkward and doesn't go down very easily. But no one is complaining.
Hold her stable, guys.
That was fun. We know how to ride in the park, that's for sure.
Don't roll. Don't roll. Just keep it stable.
Rolling up.
Ready? Rope. Is the stroke rate okay?
Yes.
We're okay. We're okay. Big wave.
Oh.
Whee! I'm ready. Okay.
Ready.
Everybody. Ready. Rope.
You didn't row in college?
Nope. I caught the lead from the kids. Yeah. How old are you? Mid-50s, that night. Yeah. Backwash off the shoreline. Yeah. It's pretty rough right here.
On the port side is the headland of Monte Rosa al Mar. We will be rounding it and cutting across in front of Monte Rosso. You can see Monte Rosso in the distance on the port side. We are heading in the general direction of Cornelia. It would have been great to cruise the Monte Rosso beach and row by Vernazza. However, time is working against us, so we need to head towards Ria Maggiore. Here's a view from Enzo's safety launch of the pirates cranking along, unable to stop and visit the beautiful beachfront town of Monte Rosso al Mar. Here is what we miss seeing up close from the sea, but we will be back.
À des reflets d'argent, la mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie. La mer au ciel d'été confond ses blancs moutons.
This beautiful drone footage was courtesy of Best of Cinque Terre. Please go to their website for tips on visiting. Here, the pirates and the Vikings are offshore of Cornelia. Getting close to Ria Maggiore, we pass the beautiful village and hillside vineyards of Manarola.
Ces grands roseaux mouillés, voyez ces oiseaux blancs et ces maisons rouillées. La mer les a bercés le long des golfes clairs, et d'une chanson d'amour la mer a bercé mon cœur pour la vie.
For our landing in Rio Maggiore, pirates wanted to emulate the debonair panache of Captain Jack and its effect on the awestruck tourists on shore. But it was not to be.
How do you get back? Starboard! Starboard! Starboard!
The Vikings, of course, had their own inspiration. And while Eliza wouldn't let them walk the oars, the landing was impressive nonetheless. Keep in mind there's no daggerboard down, so the boat is very difficult to steer. After beaching our boats on the tiny beach under a tunnel in Rio Maggiore, we hustled around to another beach and helped Enzo land the safety launch. We then checked into our accommodations right in the middle of the village, changed and went to a wonderful dinner Eliza had arranged. I don't know which is best, the food, the wine, or the friendship. I do know that together they are absolutely wonderful. The next day, a group of us took a cooking class from a wonderful chef in this tiny cellar restaurant in Rio Maggiore. Our goal was to make authentic pesto from scratch and prepare a pasta dish. The chef began by teaching us many aspects of Italian cuisine and its history. So tell me what you're doing.
Cutting each end off and then taking the skin off. Cutting it in half. And removing the sprout. There's a little sprout in here. If you remove the sprout, it takes the bitterness and it makes it easier to digest.
Get it, Bettina. You get it.
I am getting it. I am so mad.
Those irresponsible forest users, just get them.
Climate deniers,
Oh, God.
biodiversity killers, water users.
All right, Tom, you can do it. Come on.
I'm really angry.
You pest that pesto.
What aren't we supposed to do again?
Smush and smear.
I don't want to see you making this.
So how's your pesto coming, Hopi?
Coming along well. We have to add the Parmesan and the extra virgin olive oil. And continue for another 30 minutes. It's looking great.
How's it going, Mary?
Hello? I ordered 2 big, you can order the bottles, but it seems like a lot of, it can't be filled in.
About a couple of years, or you said
I got a lot
So
of
2 spoons of Parmigiano?
Yes.
and enough olive oil. It looks like at least a quarter cup.
we just end up sometimes just, and you can get it for years,
Voila.
Finally, after all our hard work, we get to taste our creation. Pesto on pasta. Delicious.